Currently sitting in third place, and they haven't lost in their last 5 games. We're going to pay our attention to AC Milan today. We are going to recreate Pioli's perfect 4-2-3-1, and today it's actually a tactic we actually did go unbeaten, so a very exciting tactic. And we're also going to include the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3 variant. So a lot of stuff going on. Let's get into the video. Be sure to leave a like. Let's see how we done with AC Milan. With AC Milan, we enjoyed a very, very good season indeed. As you can see here, not only did we win the Serie A, we also did win that Italian Cup against bitter rivals Inter Milan. We scored 101 goals in the season and conceded only 18 goals, ranking us best in both categories. Olivier Giroud comes in and scores quite a fair few goals, with 44 goals to be exact in the division. Theo Hernandez, by far the best left back in the game, in my opinion, with 25 assists and also getting the highest average rating at 7.84, with Mike Maignan picking up a 96% pass completion. And even better, even more special, we nearly go invincible in this season, only losing 1 game, which is going to be against Fiorentina. The rest of them, we either won or we drew. You can't complain. In terms of the team stats, of course, we are going to dominate almost everything. Most points per game at 2.45, the most goals at 101, a very good stat line to have. The most shots for at 720, the fewest shots against at 191, the most dribbles being made, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. Defensive masterclass, good on the ball, and scoring goals. It's the perfect trio. Data hub wise, it's not going to be the most outrageous amount of goals per game, but it is going to be quite a consistent 2.66, 0.47 conceded as well, so very good stat line there. A 79% tackle win ratio, and also a very good pass completion. Even the stats are looking good. In terms of actually how the squad played though, as I did mention, Olivier Giroud picks up 44 goals in the division, enjoying a very good season. Rafael Leao picks up 27, 12 for Theo Hernandez, a couple of good loan seasons there, obviously for Charles and Divock Origi, 10 coming in for Adli, a very good youngster obviously in this game. Assist wise, again, a nice wide variety dominated from Hernandez and Adli. Pulisic enjoying an okay season, nothing too special. I think with this 4-2-3-1 you can expect your striker to do most of the hard work, and also obviously the left hand sided player as well, which is to be expected, and clearly it paid off. But the cup final, definitely one to remember, probably one of the most dramatic Milan derby games you're ever going to see, as to be honest they played very well. They got off to a very good start inside of 11 minutes with Martinez, and actually go 2-0 up here from a very, very good set piece. Obviously Inter Milan are the best team in the division, we can't really argue that. A very good set piece there from the throw in, a very direct ball in the box to be honest, which does go to Rafael Leao. We keep on going, playing balls over the top. It's going to be big Jakar's way out on the right hand side, cuts it in into the right hand corner. Was not really expecting that, a little bit lucky there to tie it up obviously at 2-2. We then go and actually take the lead here to make it 3-2. Rafael Leao in the middle into Okafor, who obviously tucks it away very, very easily. But of course in FM fashion we bottle it. Dumfries down the right hand side, a very good attack and fullback in the middle into Arnautovic, who clearly still has got it in the tank and gets the job done. Luckily for us though, very early on into extra time, we seal the game, get it done. A great ball across, poor clearance from De Vrij and also Klaassen. A bit of individual quality, and we lift the trophy. Next is going to be Palomiro, a team which he did obviously manage in his previous days, and we win 26 games, draw 11, quite a fair few draws, but we got the job done. And again, only the 1 loss, picking up 89 points in the league, making it a very dominant season considering we were predicted to finish in 5th place. Matteo comes in with 28 goals, and it is going to be Vasic picking up 14 assists. Laconi coming in with a 95% pass completion, and Leo Stulak picking up a 7.33 highest average rating. In terms of the goals scored, 85 goals to be exact, only 31 goals conceded. Unfortunately, we do okay in the Italian Cup, getting to the quarter-final, but Juventus are a little bit too strong. Team stat-wise, we are going to feature in almost everything. The fewest conceded, the most dribbles at 684. Possession-wise, not too good to be honest with you. Again, with the other teams who were slightly better, but with this one, 55% of the ball. The fewest shots against at 262. The most shots at over 500, 508 to be exact. The most points per game, and also the most goals. So across the board, very, very good. But possession, ideally I'd want a little bit more, but in the 4-3-3 we easily were getting between 58 to 59%. Data hub wise, again they look very similar to that Milan team. 2.24 goals per game, 0.82 conceded, so still conceding way under a goal a game, scoring way over 2 goals a game. A very good pass completion, and over 13 shots every single match. There's not too much we can complain about. With a 5th place predicted team, we've turned them into champions. What more can we do? And we enjoyed some very good league games with this team, but this is a very good example of a 4-0 win. You can see the quality of the goals, great down the right-hand side, simple football, 1-2 passing, and Henderson does obviously finish it off with a very, very good finish to wrap it up there. Soleri, ball over the top into Volante, out on the right-hand side. Again, very similar goal from Volante, to pick up the ball, play it back into the middle. A lot of the action did come down this right-hand side. Through centralised this time, though, Henderson, a beautiful chip there, one of the nicest goals we're going to see this video. One more goal to showcase, and it is going to come from a set piece, a throw-in into Henderson, little touch inside, and I rate the confidence. It's a great finish. And lastly, we needed a powerhouse because AC Milan aren't obviously favourites, and obviously Palomiro aren't either. This is going to be a favourite. They are going to be PSG, and we come out and we absolutely storm the league. We win 33 out of a potential 34, and we actually draw the other game against Monaco. So nearly a perfect 34 out of 34 record, 0 losses, invincible season, 100 points, 113 goal difference. Mbappe and Kolo Muani picking up 32 goals as a joint partnership. Mbappe nabbing the highest average rating, Dembele coming in with 24 assists, Donnarumma 95% pass completion, 122 goals scored, only 9 goals conceded, and we've done the quadruple. The Champions League against Real Madrid, the League against everyone, the French Cup against Monaco, and the Trophée des Champions against Toulouse. It's the perfect season. Team stat wise, as you can imagine, we are going to dominate everything. But just to showcase this, you're not going to have much of the ball with this 4-2-3-1. The 4-3-3 is much more possession orientated, which is why I always say watch the whole video, because you've got to get loads of tactics, 3 tactics to be exact. It's not just the 1 tactic per video on this channel. But what we do dominate is the most points per game at almost a perfect 3 at 2.94. Most goals at 122, which is getting on for double of Nice in second place. The most shots at over 650. The fewest shots against, the most dribbles being made, and defensively we were absolutely remarkable. A mixture of being obviously the best defensive team in the league, but also just we were the ones scoring the goals. They were picking the ball at the back of the net. They had no means to do their own attacks, no time on the ball. And this is where things are really going to look good, because we're looking at 3.59 goals per game, only 0.26 conceded, 19.26 shots per game, an outrageous pass completion, and even a tidy tackle win ratio. You might think Madrid in the final, bit of a challenge. Not at all. A 3-0 win, very easy, very comfortable, got off to a very good start, and that is a very beautiful goal there scored from Dembele inside of 19 minutes. And we just keep going, keep at this tempo. 22 minutes into the game, Mbappe picks it up into Mendes, who goes alone, and awful closing down from the Madrid backline. And the last bit of action comes really late into the game. 89 minutes into Soler, into Marco, cuts in on his right, into Gonçalo, and it's absolutely incredible. An easy fight. Of course, now over to your favourite part of the video. If you are enjoying so far, please do leave a like. It's completely free, and be sure to subscribe and help push towards that 20k if you've got a spare second to do so. Also, I want to thank over the 2,200 different people that are going to be coming up. These are going to be new or existing Patreon members. Patreon is the best way to support this channel, and also you get over 10 perks. You get early video release, you get early tactic release, you get priority in the tactic and the rebuild requests. The big one, you get access to all 3 of these tactics in one simple download, access to the giveaway, Twitch perks, Discord perks, so many perks. You need to come over and get involved. The link is going to be in the description below. But let's talk about these player roles then. So the goalkeeper is going to be a default sweeper keeper, simply on the supportive duty. The fullback on the right is simply going to be on support, on tackle harder. Now, I rarely say this, but do not change this to a wing back. Having this back 4 works really, really well. So if you can, please do stick to it to get the best results possible. Ball playing defender on the right is simply going to be on defend. No additional instructions. On the left, another ball playing defender, but he is going to be told to stay wider, and that is because the wing back on this side is very... Well, this tactic is designed obviously for the AC Milan team, so you imagine Hernandez is going to be very, very attacking in the team. If you're playing with not a team who your left back is so good, maybe you don't need to have him on attack. But when we're recreating this Pioli system, we have to be as accurate as possible, and that is going to be Theo Hernandez on that attacking duty, really getting stuck into the game. So this ball playing defender needs to cover that by being a little bit wider on the ball. Into the midfield, again, a role I really would not advise changing. The halfback coming in obviously on defend, on tackle harder, and next to him is going to be that deep line playmaker on support, on tackle harder, and also mark tighter. Again, there's probably 3 positions here I really would not recommend changing. I'm going to say this now because I see a lot of comments saying, can I do this, can I do that? Which, by the way, I love to answer, so make sure you comment if you have got any questions. But these 3 roles I definitely would not change. The winger on the right is going to be on attack, on cut inside, and also tackle harder, which is good because when he gets the ball, he is going to cut inside, meaning that if this fullback does go further forwards, then they're not going to collide on that side of the field. In the midfield, centralised advanced playmaker, on support, on roam from position, move into channels, and also tackle harder. And obviously on the left is going to be Rafael Leao. So inside forward on attack, shoot more often, sit narrower, and also tackle harder. Now, what is really, really good, especially about this AC Milan team, is how much talent they have down the left-hand side. Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. Obviously with this player here, we want him cutting in, shooting more often. He's got that in the locker, 27 goals in the season. Really, really impressive. And to finish it off, the Olivier Giroud role, the complete forward on attack, on pass it shorter, tackle harder, and also mark tighter. But if you want to go a little bit more meta-based, you could use an advanced forward. Now, today's tactic is actually based off a clean slate on the positive mentality. The attack and width is going to be set simply to the default, so the middle option. We're going to pass the ball into space, overlap left, focus to play down the left, and also play it out from the back. Now, just a little bit of a heads up, this is designed to recreate Pioli's system. And in Pioli's system, he is obviously going to prioritise Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. Now, in your team, if you've got a better right-hand side, yes, you can simply untick this and match it on the other side. So you can mould this to your team and your situation, but if you are trying to play like Pioli with his exact style, that is what we're going to be doing. The directness is going to be set to shorter, the tempo is going to be maxed out to higher, we're going to be more expressive, we're going to run at the back line, and we are also going to go with a very, very good instruction this year, low crosses. Must needed, very good set of instructions, very aggressive. Transition, quite a fair bit to talk about. Obviously, it's going to be the counter-pressing style. We've got a counter-attack to match that run at defence in the in-possession tab, a very lethal counter-attacking team. We're going to distribute the ball quickly, play to one of the centre-backs, all while taking short goal kicks. Lastly, it's going to be the out of possession. We are going to roll with that high press and line of engagement. The line is going to remain on standard on this occasion. We are going to max out that trigger press and also prevent short goalkeeper distribution. And that's going to be it. Not too many instructions, but let's get into the next tactic because you're going to want to see it. So this is going to be the 4-3-3. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be more attacking. It naturally is a little bit more attacking. I noticed it had a better level of possession. So if you are trying to play more possession-based football, you can use this as well. In this video, I've decided to include both of his formations, which he plays this season. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. The goalkeeper is going to be a sweeper keeper, simply on support. The fullback is going to be pretty much the same, on support, on take fewer risks and shoot less often. The ball playing defender on the right is simply going to be on the default. On the left is going to be on stay wider, tackle harder, and also mark tighter. The stay wider is a much needed instruction, obviously again for the Theo Hernandez role, who's going to be very attacking at wing back on attack. A deep line playmaker remains in the team, but obviously transforms into that sort of free in the middle. On defend, simply on the default instruction. A box-to-box on the right, on support, on shoot more often, get further forwards, and move into channels. And next to him is going to be the Mazzala, on support, on take more risks, and also dribble more. The left-hand side is also going to be an inside forward. It is Rafael Leao, can't really change it. Shoot more often, and also stay wider. I like having shoot more often on players like Rafael Leao because I know he's got a great finish in him. And on the right-hand side is going to be the winger, who on this variant is simply going to be on the default. And of course, we can't miss him out. Giroud is going to be a supportive role on this team, a complete forward on support, on shoot less often. You're not going to get as many goals from him in this style. He's going to be more of a link-up player, providing fully out. Again, it is going to be based off the clean slate on the attacking mentality on this occasion. That is the attacking mentality. This remains exactly the same. We're going to pass the ball into the space. We're going to overlap left. We're going to focus to play down the left. And we're going to play out from the back, so exactly the same as before. The directness is going to be set to shorter. The tempo is going to be maxed all the way out. We're going to have them low crosses as per. And in fact, it is going to be exactly the same because although it is a different formation, we can still roll the same in the way that it plays. So obviously, this is always going to be a given. Down the left is always going to be a given in this system. Now, if you don't want to have it on, even if you are playing as AC Milan, don't have it on, but you're not going to get as much from them side of players. Like Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao can seriously cause some damage, so just try and get the most out of it. Transition is going to be exactly the same as the previous one, so take short goal kicks, play it to the centre backs, distribute quickly, counter, and counter press. Not the same, a little bit different, but we are going to instantly whack this line up to the high press and line of engagement. We are going to deploy the higher defensive line in the 4-3-3 variant, so it is a little bit more attacking as well, not only with that line, but also the mentality. The trigger press is going to be maxed out, and of course, we are still going to apply pressure on their goalkeeper. But do stay tuned, we're now going to go over a defensive tactic, which is a bit more designed to seal out a game or go into a game more cautiously. That is going to be Pioli's 4-3-3 defensive, so it is going to be the 4-3-3, but it's going to be a lot more toned down and a lot less attacking. Perfect for smaller teams you're going to be playing with, or if you're trying to sort of, you know, hold out a 0-0 or hold a 1-0 lead, this is going to be the one for you. So the goalkeeper, a sweeper keeper on the default, a fullback on the right on defend on the default, a ball playing defender on the right on dribble less, on the left, Again, a ball-playing defender on defend, on stay wider, tackle harder and mark tighter. Now, although the wing-back's not on attack in this variant, he still is going to get quite forward if you are using a player like Theo Hernandez, because he is very attacker-minded. So he is simply going to be on support, which obviously tells him to get further forward. So very important, this ball-playing defender is still going to provide cover by staying wider. In the midfield, the deep-lying playmaker remains as a defensive duty. The box-to-box remains as well, but with a lot less instructions. He is simply going to be on the default instruction, so he's not going to be taking crazy shots, getting further forwards. He's going to be attacking, but also coming back to help the defensive side of the game. Advanced playmaker comes in on support, simply on the default. Quite a low-risk sort of midfield, to be honest. The winger on the right is going to be on support now on the default as well. The inside forward is one of the unchanged roles because I really want to still have Leao doing what he does best, which is attack, run at people and score goals. So an inside forward on attack, on shoot more often and also stay wider. And Olivier Giroud, his role also remains unchanged from the previous 4-3-3. So team instructions for the last tactic variant, again, the balanced mentality on the clean slate. There are going to be a couple of changes in this variant, so this remains the same, this remains the same. We're going to overlap left and focus to play down the left as well. We're not going to play out from the back in this variant. The directness is still going to be set to shorter, so we still are going to have quite good levels of possession. The tempo is still going to be higher because that is the way he plays, and I don't want to be too stagnant to where we just sat back doing and offering absolutely nothing. The crosses are still going to remain on low, match with run at defence. So this is going to be a bit more of a less risky way of playing, so we're not going to look to play out from the back every time. We're still going to be quite attacking, and you're going to see how it turns a little bit more defensive in the in transition tab. So in transition, there are going to be a couple of changes, so we're not going to have anything selected for this. I don't want to regroup, but also I don't really want to go out there and press, so it's going to be set to the default. We are going to counter attack because, again, I still really want to have some shots at goal, not just sit back and offer absolutely nothing. We're going to slow the pace down because we are trying to run the clock down. We're going to play to the centre backs while taking short goal kicks. Lastly, out of possession, we are going to go with the standard line, the high press and line of engagement. I did try the lower defensive line, but there's a little bit too negative in my opinion, so we're going to keep it at standard. The trigger press is going to be maxed out too, much more often. We're still going to put pressure on their goalkeeper, but we're not going to be reckless. We're not pressing. We're going to be very calm on the ball, not really be baited into much at all, so we are also going to stay on feet. And that's going to give you guys 3 variants of Pioli's 4-2-3-1, a very highly requested tactic. Again, keep the tactics coming in the description. Be sure to leave a like if you have enjoyed. Check out the Patreon if you are interested. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.